Hello, Miss Tiffany.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderfully blessed as always, and so are you. And a big, big, big congrats on the Emperor of Ocean Park, a nail-biting series that's equal parts brain and heart. I'm all hooked.
Thank you. I am too. I'm ready to see more episodes. I've only gotten to see a few, so.
Well, take us from the very beginning. What got you interested in joining the cast?
I got the script the spring of last year, and I think initially I was kind of like looking at Kimmer, or that was sort of what was like presented, and then but I was definitely like immediately drawn to this family, like this world, the Garland world, because it's really unique. Yeah, and somehow I got to be a part of it, so it's great.
Oh, well, congrats on that. And talk to us about your character, Mariah, by the way. She's fierce and fully rounded. I believe she's also a Republican and a Pulitzer Prize winning writer who's always trying to impress her dad, Oliver, played by Forrest Whitaker. How did you find her heart?
Mm. You know, I when I first was reading the character, um, I didn't know it was a book at first when I was auditioning, and I didn't know that it was. I only had one script, so I think as I kind of got more insight into who Mariah is, there definitely were like a couple real life women that came to mind as inspiration for her, and I did some research on them, and then I don't know, something happened in the actual filming process that there was just something about Mariah that didn't want to be boxed in. And so she sort of ended up being an amalgam of so many different women and also her own completely unique woman at the same time.
I totally agree with that. Now, you know what? Talk to us about the family dynamics here. Your siblings, Talcott and Addie, your dad. Talk to us about their intriguing dynamics.
I think that there's a lot that anyone with siblings can recognize in the family dynamics. Certainly, like I have two brothers myself, and in reading the script, I was like, oh, I know that. I know that. Um, and so yeah, I think there's a lot that people can relate to because despite the particulars of the Garland family, their political ideology, and their sort of socioeconomic status, right? I think something that everyone can kind of take away is the relatability. We can all sort of recognize those family dynamics because it does not discriminate.
Thank you for mentioning their social status. I love the juxtaposition here of like a murder mystery, crime, pulp fictiony genre with Black America, specifically upper class Black Americans, which you seldom see in movies or in series like this. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons that I was so incredibly drawn to the story and drawn into the story because it is a really unique family to see on screen. Like we haven't seen, you know, we've seen Black families, we've seen Black affluence on screen, but we haven't seen like Black affluent political and also like Republican and all of those things. Like there's so many facets to the Garlands and to this show that I feel like there's something for everyone, no matter what you're into.
That's right. Now, the Emperor of Ocean Park arrives on MGM Plus on July 14th. What do you hope for viewers to get after watching the series?
I mean, again, I think that sort of universality of like we really are more alike than we are. I mean, and as much as we like to sort of like keep allow for ourselves to be divided up, into these little boxes, and obviously, like they do matter and they do hold weight. Um, but I think the beauty of it is that there's so much to recognize, like no matter like about your family, that your family really doesn't operate that differently than any other family. At least that was like one of my biggest takeaways from it.
I totally agree. You don't have to have a judge for a daddy.
You don't need mansions, and you don't need what to understand, some of these dynamics of wanting to make your parents proud, or um you know, fighting with your siblings, any of those things.
That's right. A big congrats on the Emperor of Ocean Park again, and good luck on everything, Miss Tiffany, okay?
Thank you. Nice to meet you.